my God. Guys, after analyzing, theorizing, and extrapolizing One Piece for the 37th time in a row, I have discovered something that'll shake your very soul to the core. My hair looks absolutely absurd right now. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, right. Yes, One Piece. Okay. Something that'll shake your very soul to the core. And I had it. Oh, it was right on the tip of my tongue, too. Oh, this is like the lantern thing all over again. All right, what was it? There's something really important about the One Piece story. It was going to revolutionize everything. Like, after I mean, seriously, this was a big one. Like, after I were to say this theory, I think Oda would have to just put down the pen because it's like, all right, he solved everything. And I just can't, for the life of me, remember. Okay, well, I guess it's gone forever then, all right? But, hey, you know what's really crazy these days? AI. There's a lot of hullabaloo about AI, all right? Have you guys heard of a thing called ChatGPT? I heard about it, and I used it for this video. I don't really know anything else behind it. I don't know who designed it. I don't know how it works. I definitely don't know how it works. I know that it's a kind of a little bit more of an advanced AI that's sort of like you can ask questions, you can type out questions, and it responds in a little bit more of a prose kind of way. It doesn't like just say like the answer to your question is, you know, this or whatever. It kind of responds in a little bit more of like a way that humans talk to each other. And so it's like, and it's not perfect by any means, but it's getting there and it's learning all the time, okay? And so for the past couple of weeks, people have been using ChatGPT, asking it questions. Sometimes the answers are pretty accurate or really thought-provoking. Other times they're completely nonsensical, and other times they're just very repetitive. But I decided to ask ChatGPT some One Piece-based questions, and I thought I could make a video about that. So here we are today doing that. I've already asked some questions to ChatGPT a little while ago, actually. This video was supposed to come out like 3 weeks ago, and I just kind of forgot about it, but the questions were still there, like the logged ones, which is good because I went to log into ChatGPT today, and it's like overflowing now. It's like way more popular, so it's like their servers are down or something, like you can't put in new questions. But I asked these questions like 3 weeks ago, all right? So they're ready to go. Some of them are very repetitive, so I'm going to skip some of them. I think there's something like 20 questions I asked it. And by the way, this was not me like sitting down, like I didn't even know I was going to make a video about it. This was just me like really just messing around with ChatGPT for the first time, asking it some One Piece questions to see like what it would, you know, what it would say, like how much does it know about the story, or like if it's going to take stuff from the series specifically, or if it would get stuff from like theories involved or like fan fiction involved, like what level of intelligence does this AI have? And so I was just messing around with it, and so here are the questions I asked it. Let's see what it says. I'm wearing a chicken hat right now. Yeah. Okay, so first question, I decided just to get, you know, the major one out of the way. Who is the strongest One Piece character? I guess I probably could have asked it what the One Piece treasure was. That probably would have been the first foot forward. But you know what? I don't want to know what the One Piece treasure was. Why would I ask? If Luffy had access to ChatGPT, would he ask what the One Piece is? No, of course not. All right. So I decided to ask it, who is the strongest One Piece character? And just to give you an idea, I'm not going to read it word verbatim for every single answer because, like I said, a lot of them are repetitive. But the way it responds is actually, it's pretty neat. It is difficult to definitively say who is the strongest One Piece character, as the series is ongoing and new characters and abilities are constantly being introduced. In addition, the concept of strength in One Piece can be subjective and can refer to physical strength, combat abilities, strategic thinking, or other qualities. That being said, some of the most powerful characters in One Piece include, and then it gives you a nice little list, which is neat. It gives you like, all right, this is ChatGPT's top 5 strongest One Piece characters. Number 1, Gold D. Roger, King of the Pirates, who is the strongest pirate to have ever lived and possessed the One Piece, the treasure that grants immense wealth and power. All right, so by the way, okay, first and foremost, I have no problems and no qualms whatsoever with Goldie Roger being listed as the strongest character in One Piece. In his heyday, of course, he's kind of a corpse right now. But I'll tell you what, man, you could even dig up Roger's corpse, and he could probably go to fisticuffs with you. To be honest, matey, I be a skeleton pirate. Like okay, but Roger being the strongest pirate, I mean the strongest character in the story of all time, I have no problem with that. He had the highest bounty of all pirates that we know of, the highest bounty in the series period so far, so nothing too problematic with that. The line where it infers that because he had the One Piece, that treasure granted him immense wealth and power, yes and no. Like, the One Piece itself might not have given him a lot of wealth. Like, I think when the Straw Hats get to Laugh Tale, Roger's gonna leave, like, a bunch of treasure there. I think, like, Roger left stuff on Laugh Tale, but the One Piece itself is not, like, a giant pile of gold. Maybe Roger left a giant pile of gold, but, I don't think the One Piece itself is just that treasure. And power, in the sense that Roger became king of the pirates and because he found the One Piece, yes, it does give you an amount of power. It makes you the pirate king, essentially, and revered all over the world. So yeah, pretty big deal there. Next up, we have number 2, strongest One Piece character. We have Whitebeard, the strongest pirate in the world before his death, who is known for his immense physical strength and the ability to create and control earthquakes. Once again, I have no argument with that whatsoever. That's actually a pretty clear and concise way to describe Whitebeard's character. Really strong dude. He died, but before he died, he was crazy strong, and he had the ability to control earthquakes with his Gura Gura no Mi, so I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, number 3, strongest One Piece character. Big Mom, one of the 4 emperors and the captain of the Big Mom Pirates, who is known for her immense physical strength and the ability to create and control homies, which are creatures made of her soul, and other people's souls as well. But still, this is where I would think the deviation would split. I would definitely put Kaido above Big Mom. I mean, of course, there's a lot of really strong characters that are not on this top 5, like Rayleigh is not here, for example. But in whatever list I would ever make, and I probably wouldn't, but if I ever did make a list of like top 10 strongest One Piece characters, according to me, I would definitely put Kaido ahead of Big Mom in any of those lists. All right, if Big Mom would definitely be on there, but Kaido would be above her. And then number 4 is Kaido, one of the 4 emperors, captain of the Beast Pirates, who is known for his immense physical strength and the ability to transform into a dragon. I am very disappointed. It does not say duck. But, yeah, whatever. Yeah, that works as well. I mean, Kaido's crazy powerful. He can turn into a dragon. There's a lot more to Kaido's power than that. No, it really only just comes down to him turning into a dragon. Everything else that's related to his toughness is tangentially related to him being a dragon and just being really powerful. And then the 5th one, though, is the most interesting to me. Number 5, strongest character in One Piece, Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the Revolutionary Army and the father of the main protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy. He was known for his strategic thinking and combat abilities. Ultimately, it is up to the interpretation of the reader to determine who they believe is the strongest character in One Piece. So what I like about this is that the AI could have very easily just went to the wiki and then just grabbed all of the Yonko and just thrown them here. Okay, or could have grabbed like the top ranking bounties and just thrown them in here. But if that was the case, like Shanks is not even on this list. You know what I mean? Rayleigh's not even included here. So like it clearly is getting the information from other sources than just looking at the wiki and being like, Shanks, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Roger, that's it. You know what I mean? So it included Dragon, which is interesting, is the leader of the Revolutionary Army. We don't know what his devil fruit is, but it does mention, strategic thinking and combat abilities. He clearly has some kind of weather manipulation, wind kind of devil fruit, and he's the leader of an entire army that will probably be responsible for taking down the Tenryubito. So yeah, I would say, I don't know if I would say Dragon is the 5th strongest character in the story. We haven't really seen a lot from him, but you know what? Like, once we actually flesh out all of his abilities, Dragon could easily be one of the strongest characters in One Piece. I don't really have a problem with that either. Shanks is not on here, but who knows? Maybe Dragon's stronger than Shanks. I don't know, but the chat GPT seems to think so that's an interesting way of looking at it. Next up, I asked it, just kind of going along with the strongest kind of flow here, what is the strongest devil fruit in One Piece? And with that one, in the world of One Piece, devil fruits are special devil fruits or special fruits that grant the user a special ability when eaten, but at the cost of the ability to swim. There are many different devil fruits with different abilities, and it's difficult to definitively say which one is the strongest, but it gives us another top 5 list. So top 5 devil fruits, according to ChatGTP, we have the Gumu Gumu no Mi, which grants the user the ability to stretch their body. Doesn't say anything about the other, name of the devil fruit. We're going to get into some more recent stuff in One Piece later. I asked it some questions about stuff that were like recent developments because I just wanted to see if it knew anything about like something that just happened like a couple weeks ago in the story or within the last year of the story. But the Gumu Gumu no Mi, followed by the Mera Mera no Mi, which is Ace's fruit, followed by the Yami Yami no Mi, which is Blackbeard's, followed by the Op Op fruit, which is by Law, followed by the Zozo no Mi, Model Elephant. Now, let's pause for a moment, okay? The Gumu Gumu no Mi, the description of that is fine. Luffy has the fruit. The Mera Mera no Mi, eaten by Porcus D. Ace. Control fire, that's good. Yami Yami no Mi, Marshall D. Teach, allowing him to control darkness, that's fine. Op Op fruit, eaten by Trafalgar D. Water Law to create a room in which they can alter reality. That's a pretty good summation of, it's not complete reality manipulation, but that's like if you have to describe Law's fruit very quickly, that's probably the simplest way you could do it. But then we finally have the Zozo no Mi, Model Elephant, which, by the way, Zo just literally means elephant in Japanese, so it's the elephant fruit, Model Elephant. We're going to go back to elephant facts here, which grants the user the ability to transform into an elephant and control an elephant. All right, so you don't just transform into an elephant, you can control elephants. That's actually a pretty powerful ability. This fruit has been eaten by Don Quixote Doflamingo, a former member of the Warlords, and has made him one of the strongest characters in the series. Okay, so this was Doflamingo's true power the entire time. Actually speaking, completely unironically, if a devil fruit existed that allowed you to specifically control elephants, that would actually be immensely powerful because then you would be able to control Zunisha. And Zunisha is extremely big and also has access to some knowledge. Like Joy Boy might have had some kind of devil fruit that allowed him to manipulate, because that's like he can't do anything unless Joy Boy orders it. Or a member of the Kozuki orders it, like with Momo. So, yeah. But the fact that for some reason ChatGTP was just like, oh no, Doflamingo has this. So there's two Zozo fruits in the story right now. There's the normal Zozo fruit, which was eaten by Spondum's sword and has the name Funkfried. And then there's the ancient version of the Zozo fruit, which is Model Mammoth, which was eaten by Jack. All right, which, by the way, they're completely unrelated, kind of related, but a little bit of a tangent. They're thinking that they're going to be able to revive woolly mammoths within, like, the next few years, like, in our world. And that's pretty cool, because they only went extinct, like, 4,000 years ago on Wrangel Island. So, like, the idea that they could bring some of them back is not absurd. So, by the end of my lifetime, we might actually have woolly mammoths walking around in, like, preserves and stuff. So that should be actually pretty neat. But, yeah, you know what? It's really funny, because if Doflamingo did have the ability to manipulate elephants and he could control Zunisha, that would actually be a scary power. That it would be a little silly, but it's not completely absurd where it doesn't make any sense, because in One Piece, like, there are elephant fruits, there's a giant elephant, and Doflamingo is evil, and he could do some nefarious stuff with that ability. So, yeah, if there was a devil fruit in One Piece that can control elephants at will, on top of turning into one, Yeah, that would be powerful, right? Okay. By the by, Zunisha's his like species was given. Like Oda gave the name of his species, and I can't remember what it is in Japanese, but it's like the long-legged elephant. There might be a devil fruit out there that's like the Zozo fruit model long-legged elephant, you know, so it turns you into that specific elephant that is the form of Zunisha, a giant elephant that's like 35 kilometers tall. Yeah, if that devil fruit existed as a zone, that's pretty terrifying. Maybe it's an ancient zone. Anyway, so that's that. Moving on, I wanted to ask it some questions now about some fights to see who would win some hypothetical battles here. So I asked it, who would win in a fight between Zoro and Sanji? And then this is where a lot of the repetition comes in. It is difficult to definitively say who would win in a fight between Roronoa Zoro and Vinsmoke Sanji, as both characters are skilled warriors with unique abilities. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Zoro is a swordsman and one of the main protagonists. He's known for his impressive fighting skills, 3 swords simultaneously. He's also a skilled marksman and has a powerful endurance, allowing him to withstand and recover. Okay, you know what's funny? I would say they're mixing up Zoro and Usopp there. Zoro does have pretty good aim. I mean, he's horrible with directions, but he has a lot of attacks like the Phoenix, you know, the 108 or 1,080 pound Phoenix. He has long-ranged attacks with his sword, and he seems to be pretty dead shot with those things. Like, they seem to hit the enemy usually pretty good, pretty right on. You know, is he as good of a marksman as Usopp? Of course not, but in his own way, he kind of is. Sanji is a chef and a member of the Straw Hats, the crew that Zoro is also a part of. He is a skilled martial artist and is known for his fighting style, which incorporates powerful kicks. He is also a skilled tactician and has a strong will, allowing him to withstand and recover from significant injuries. So it's like the same thing. Basically, well, I mean, Zoro in that case, powerful will. I mean, okay, that's odd. They actually give Sanji the powerful will, not Zoro, who actually Zoro has Conqueror's Haki, and Sanji has the strong will. So maybe this is confirming Sanji has Conquerors. There you go. Problem solved. In a hypothetical fight between the two characters, it is likely they would both use their unique abilities. Really, you don't say. You don't say, AI. You don't say. You know, in a fight between two anime characters with crazy powerful abilities, both of them would probably use their abilities. You know what I mean? It's like saying, like, yeah, in this MMA fight, there'll probably be some punches and kicks thrown around. It's like, really? You don't say. With, like, in a boxing match, there might be some punching involved, you know? Wow. It is likely, okay, they would both use their abilities to try to outmaneuver and defeat each other. Ultimately, it is difficult to predict the outcome of such a fight. So you're basically playing it safe. You're just like, nah, I'm not picking a side here between Zoro and Sanji. Even the AI is smart enough to be like, I'm not picking a side with that. You know, it's like, they're both really strong. I don't know who would win. All right, AI. Next up, we have Katakuri versus Luffy. I just asked it, could Katakuri have beaten Luffy? So this is a big question. Not really a question. I think Katakuri could have beaten Luffy if he didn't stab himself, and also his personality was a little different. I think Katakuri could have won there. But I just wanted to get the AI's opinion there. So the first paragraph is just recapping Katakuri's character. In the context of the story, Katakuri and Monkey D. Luffy have fought each other in a prolonged battle during Whole Cake Island arc. That is true. In this battle, Katakuri was able to gain the upper hand and was able to inflict significant damage to Luffy. That did happen. However, despite his initial advantage, Luffy was able to overcome his injuries and eventually defeat Katakuri using his Gear 4 technique. Also true. It is worth noting that the outcome of any hypothetical battle between characters can depend on a variety of factors, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there are a variety of factors. That's why I want you to know about those variety of factors and let me know, okay? So, therefore, it is difficult to determine whether Katakuri could have beaten Luffy under different circumstances. I think he easily could have, but that's just me at that point in the story. But other than that, it was, you know, pretty accurate in, yeah, Luffy did have, he was beaten down at first. Katakuri did have an initial lead, but as the fight continued, you know, Luffy eventually did beat him with a Gear 4 technique, which was Gear 4 Snake Man, King Cobra. So, there it is. Okay, next up, who has the largest pirate fleet in One Piece? I asked it that question, and it just the first paragraph is just recapping pirate crews, and it's like the strongest pirate crews in the series are led by powerful pirate captains known as the Four Emperors. That is also true. Of the Four Emperors, the character with the largest pirate fleet is Charlotte Linlin, also known as Big Mom, the captain of the Big Mom Pirates. Big Mom's crew is one of the largest and most powerful crews in the world, consisting of over 1,000 members and numerous powerful subordinates known as the Sweet Commanders. All of that is true. The crew is known for its formidable strength and the ability to conquer and control entire islands, also something they do. Other powerful pirate crews include the Whitebeard Pirates, Red-Haired Pirates, Beast Pirates, and the Rocks Pirates. They included Rocks in there. I'm actually interested in that. I'm really happy they included Rocks. These crews have large numbers of members and powerful captains and subordinates. We don't really know how big Rocks' crew was. It seemed to be just like a really... It really honestly just seemed to be a really strong motley crew, but they could have had like a bunch of other subordinates under them that Rocks could have just thrown as like a vanguard unit or whatever. Big Mom having the largest fleet, I'm not actually upset by that, and I honestly think that's probably true. Shanks's fleet, he does have a fleet, but it's probably not nearly as big as like Kaido and Big Mom's. Whitebeard had allies. I don't know if you're really including the allies in this or the actual main crew. I'm assuming the main crew. So Whitebeard had his own like 4 ships, I believe, but beyond that, nothing else aside from the allied crews he worked with, if you want to include them. I mean, Luffy has the Grand Fleet, which is impressive. It has like 5,000 something members because of Orlumbus's fleet, the Santa Maria fleet, the Yonta Maria fleet. But, you know, Big Mom controlling, like 30-something islands in Tatoland, having not only her own family, which is 85 children just in that alone, but also just all the other members like Pecoms and Tamago who are not members of her family, but also joined up as part of the crew. All of the people that would be required to run each of those islands. Each of those islands have a minister and a government and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff involved here, okay, in order to run an entire nation of 30-something islands. I think it was like 35 or 36 islands of Tatoland, plus the main island of Whole Cake itself, and then still being out there in the world and pillaging and being a Yonko and an emperor and everything. I have no problem with Big Mom being given the badge. Like, you ever play Catan? Okay, like if you've ever played Settlers of Catan, they have the badge for like the largest army. I would have no problem with giving Big Mom the badge for largest army. Okay, is she the strongest pirate crew? Definitively no. But in terms of sheer size and also the information network she has to work with, which was stated to be one of the best in the world, if not the best in the entire world, I would have no problems with that. Yeah, Big Mom having the largest fleet, sure. This next one is okay. This one is a little bit okay. If you guys watched the charity stream I did back in December for St. Jude, there was a video that Artur made for that charity stream where he was mentioning very obscure One Piece characters, and he mentions a character named Ike, and he says Ike is a character in One Piece. He was named, he has a job, but he's not mentioned on the wiki. He's not mentioned, like, you can't just Google who is Ike and it's going to come up. And everyone kind of, and Artur's not saying who it is. So Artur has like combed through all of One Piece and like looked through like everything and just being like, okay, you know, he found Ike, this one obscure character. He's not even on the wiki. I combed through the whole wiki. Trust me, Ike is not there. Nobody in the chat during the stream knew who Ike was. I asked the chat. I asked ChatGPT, and who is Ike? Ike is not a character in the One Piece series. It is possible you may have been mistaken or are referring to a character of a different name. No. No, I'm going to trust Artur on this. I'm going to trust Arthur on this. Ike is a character, and the only way that you will probably be able to find out about Ike is if you read the entire One Piece series again, start to finish, or start to where we're at right now, and comb over every single panel, which I really don't want to do. So I guess Ike will be the mystery that Artor will always hold. It is the one piece that Artor has, is who is Ike. All right, so there's that. All right, so moving on, I decided to do a little bit of romance kind of questions. I wanted to see how it would handle that, some fan fiction-y shipping sort of situation. So I'm a big fan of Frankie and Robin, of Frobin, so I decided to ask how it would handle that question. Will Frankie and Robin get together in One Piece? It is difficult for me to predict the future developments of the One Piece series as the series is ongoing, blah, 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 blah. It has not been explicitly addressed in the series. It is up to the interpretation of the reader. I was actually thinking maybe it was going to mention that Oda did say that he's not going to romance the Straw Hats. That was really what I was trying to get it to say. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, Oda came out and said that he will not romance the Straw Hats, so this question will probably not be addressed. But it does mention that Frankie is a cyborg that loves cola. Robin is an archaeologist and former member of the criminal organization known as Cypherpole. Not... Oh, very close. It meant to say Baroque Works, but Cypherpole instead. But technically, Robin did work for Cypherpole for like 2 days. Technically, she worked alongside Blue and O to attempt to assassinate Iceberg. So technically speaking, she was like a member for like a day. Okay. Yes, she is known for her ability to create and manipulate her body into various shapes. Frankie has the ability to just transform into a battleship, which that's actually something that is in an SBS in volume. I think it actually is in volume 101 here, where we see the future of Frankie drawn by Oda. And in age 70 in the wrong universe, Frankie does turn into an actual straight-up battleship. Like, he just uploads his consciousness into the battleship. But I would argue Frankie, in his cyborg form, has the destructive power of a battleship, you know, condensed into his body. He doesn't turn into an actual battleship, but he does have the destructive capabilities of one, I would definitely say. So, yeah, I mean, like, it doesn't really go into the address of, like, their relationship or anything, you know, other than just saying it is difficult to determine, or it's up to the interpretation of the reader to determine how they feel about the potential for a romantic relationship. Moving on, how did Lord Orochi die? I wanted to ask it how Orochi died, because this one, Orochi died like 8 times. So I wanted to see like which one it was going to pick, or if it was going to pick all of them. How did Orochi die in One Piece? Kaido of the Beast, also known as Kaido. Let's see. Okay, it's just talking about Kaido at first. In the context of the story, Kaido has... Okay, so now I think what happened here is that because Orochi and Kaido both kind of ruled over Wano, they were both antagonists during the Wano arc, I think the AI got confused into thinking that, like, Orochi and Kaido are sort of like the same character. Because it's like, Orochi is the main enemy of Wano, but that's also Kaido is main enemy of Wano. So, you know what I mean? In the context of the story, Kaido has not died, and he remains a formidable and ongoing threat. Well, I would say half of that is true. Kaido has not yet died. I don't think he's dead, but I don't think he still remains a formidable threat. At the moment, he's sort of like in a lava pit. Or maybe he got, you know, erupted out of the lava pit and he's somewhere else in a coma or something. Kaido is immensely powerful and he can, you know, transform into a dragon. Orochi is a character in the One Piece world who's the Shogun of Wano and is a subordinate of Kaido. Oh, that is so scathing. That is true. But if Orochi ever heard that, if Orochi ever, like, someone told him, like, you're just a minion of Kaido, Orochi would be like, I'm not a minion of Kaido, I am the Shogun of Wano. You know, but he's totally, that is 100% true. In the Wano country, Orochi is ultimately defeated and killed by the combined efforts of the Straw Hat Pirates, the Kozuki family, the Samurai of Wano. His death is a major event in the arc and plays a significant role in the ongoing conflict with Kaido and the Beast Pirates. Okay, so it's kind of jumbled around a little bit there. The Straw Hats, the Kozuki family, and the Samurai of Wano all contributed, definitely. They don't include Kaido as, you know, being one of them that do, in fact, take away one of his lives. And also his death being a major role, that was kind of at the end of the arc when Kaido and Big Mom had also kind of been, like, it was right around the time they were defeated as well as the same time Orochi was beheaded by Denjiro, finally finished off by Denjiro. So it's a little jumbled, but overall it is accurate, yes. What's the next one we have? Let's see. I hope this answers your question. Kinda. Is Arlong still alive in One Piece? Got to see if Arlong is still alive. Arlong is a character, blah, blah, blah. We already know that. In the context of the story, Arlong is no longer alive. He was defeated and killed by Monkey D. Luffy. All right, so you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Oda came out and says, yeah, Luffy doesn't kill his opponents, not according to Chat GTP. I've been going back and forth between GTP and GPT plenty of times in this. I don't even remember which one it is now. Okay, I don't even know. But anyway, yeah, Luffy's a cold-blooded killer, guys. He straight up just killed Arlong, like, you know, bashed him through a building, broke his nose, probably broke his neck too. I mean, like, he's dead. You know, Arlong just straight up dead. He's not shown up again. Luffy killed him. All right, so there it is. Moving on, is Crocodile still alive in One Piece? Sir Crocodile is a character. Yeah, we already know he's a character. In the context of the story, Crocodile is no longer alive. He was defeated and arrested by Luffy. All right, so he's no longer alive, but he was just defeated and arrested. All right. He later escaped from prison and rejoined the warlords, but it was eventually defeated killed by Luffy's crewmate, Boa Hancock, during the Dressrosa arc. Oh, my God. This is where some of them get so funny. Oh, my God. I'm so happy that this exists. All right. So hold on a moment. So we have red dress variant Boa here. Okay. I'll put her right here. Okay. So the first half of that was fairly accurate. Crocodile defeated and arrested. I mean, Luffy's not the one that arrested him, but I understand what it meant. The main protagonist of One Piece is Luffy, of course, during the Alabasta arc. He later escaped from prison and rejoined the warlords. Not true, but he did escape from prison, so okay. But he was eventually defeated and killed by Luffy's crewmate, Boa Hancock, during Dressrosa. Okay, I don't think I feel like I have to explain all the things that's wrong there, but I will because it's funny. So, Boa is not Luffy's crewmate, although she does have the hots for Luffy. And if she ever asked to join the crew, I mean, maybe Luffy would say yes. He'd be like, yeah, sure, you can join the crew. I'm not marrying you, though. I'd be like, okay, that's good enough for me. So Boa's not a member of Luffy's crewmate. Is not a member of Luffy's crew, and she never killed Crocodile, just to let you know. That never happened. The two of them, I don't think... I mean, the two of them have probably met at some point in the past, just by... Well, just by being warlords, maybe they might have met. And they've both been warlords for a long time. Their bounties were very similar when they were frozen. Crocodile's was 81 million, and Boa's was 80 million, so it's probably around the same time they were, addressed and joined the warlords. But, she never killed him. Although, I'll tell you what, that's an interesting fight in and of itself, you know what I mean? Boa versus Crocodile, weird matchup, but I would like to see that. I feel like, okay, Boa's going to use her love powers. Crocodile, I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like Boa's charms kind of affect everybody, so, like, even if you want to go with that theory that Crocodile was actually a woman, like he was changed into a man by Ivankov, like, Boa's abilities kind of work on men, women, kind of everyone, you know what I mean? So, Crocodile, there are ways to get around it, though. Crocodile could, like, stab himself like Momonga did to, like, focus on the pain. So there are ways around that ability. I feel like Crocodile would win, but Boa would have a solid chance. I don't know. Anyway, and then ending it out during the Dressrosa arc, an arc where neither of these characters appear. Boa does not appear. Crocodile does not appear in the Dressrosa arc at all. But, yeah, that's probably, I think, the funniest one in the entire list. Okay, so there's the answer to your question there. What is Luffy's Gear 5th? I asked it that because I was curious if it was up to date with the manga in the last year or so. It basically just describes Gear 4th as Gear 5th. He's like, Gear 5th is a technique that, Luffy first uses during Dressrosa. Let's see. Luffy inflates his muscle fibers with air, which increases size. He coats his fist with armament hockey. Gear 5th is a powerful technique. It has its limitations. The technique consumes a significant amount of Luffy's energy. Yeah, all all of this is describing Gear 4th. Gear 5th a little bit because that drains Luffy as well. But yeah, this is clearly Gear 4th, so not quite there yet. But we're getting there. Next up is who has the best bakery in One Piece? It was late at night when I asked it these questions, just letting you know. It was late at night. It was like midnight, and I had nothing else to do, and I was just like messing around with this AI thing, like asking it One Piece questions. Who has the best bakery in One Piece? So there are several characters who own or work at bakeries, but it is up to the interpretation of the reader, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Give us the top 5 list. All right, top 5 best bakeries. Number 1, Katakuri. Number 2, Pudding. Number 3, Cracker. Number 4, Big Mom. Number 5, Sanji. I mean, I already did a 3-part series to definitively, absolutely, no argument whatsoever determine who has the best bakery in One Piece. And we determined it was Sanji. But all of these characters, yeah, I mean, like, they all work for Big Mom. So you understand, working for Big Mom, and I just realized all of them mostly work at Cacao Island, according to this. Katakuri works at Katakata no Mi, which is not true. He works at, he's the Minister of Flour. I think it's like Komogi Island or something. But, oh, he owns a pastry shop called Katakata no Mi. Okay. Well, all right, so here's the thing. That's not canon. It was never mentioned he owned a shop called Katakata no Mi, but he totally could, and that's not a bad name for it. If Katakuri opened a bakery called Katakata no Mi, I'd be like, all right, that's actually kind of a clever name, you know? I actually like that. Pudding works on Cacao Island. Cracker works on Cacao Island. Lin Lin also works on Cacao Island. She owns a bakery. You know, it's kind of painting like the Big Mom family as just a big family that works at one bakery, which is kind of true. Charlotte Cracker having a bakery, I think would be good. It would complement Pudding and you know, like you know, Pudding makes all the chocolate, and then maybe Cracker can make like all the biscuits with like you ever have the Keebler Elf kind of stuff that's like the crackers or the cookies but are coated in chocolate. Those are so good. Yeah, it would be something like that. I think that would be fine. And then Sanji, member of the Straw Hat Pirates, who is a skilled chef who worked at the Baratier, a floating restaurant, and is known for his desserts. I mean, he can kind of make everything, but yeah, his desserts are really good as well. He could definitely make some really good desserts. So yeah, I mean, like, I would put Sanji as number 1, but tell you what, if Sanji was put at number 1, and then Katakuri was 2, Pudding was 3, Cracker was 4, Lin Lin was 5, I mean, like, you could go watch the bakery videos. I made 3 of them. They're probably, like, overall, like, 3 hours long. Maybe even longer than that. But no, seriously, like, I'm okay with that list. Like, that's not bad, except Sanji should be, like, way higher up. Anyway, moving on. Who is Vegapunk in One Piece? So this was something that just happened. So I wanted to see how it was going to respond to this. And it responded the way I thought it would. Dr. Vegapunk is a character, but he's mysterious and enigmatic. He has not prominently featured in the story thus far. So yeah, it's not caught up to that point in the story. It's like he's a famous scientist. He works for the government. He made the pacifistas. He made cyborgs. But we haven't seen him in the story yet. So this is very, very recent in the story within the last few months. So I understand why it wouldn't be caught up to this. Next up, I asked it, who is the fastest character in One Piece? It is difficult to determine, blah, 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 blah. Okay, give me the list. Number 1, Monkey D. Luffy. Okay, interesting pick. Number 2, Zoro. Number 3, Sanji. Number 4, Robin. Number 5, Boa. Okay. All right. Luffy. Speed through his training and the use of his devil fruit powers. I mean, Luffy is fast. I mean, especially in Gear 5th now. He's pretty fast. Is he the fastest member of the whole of the Straw Hats? I would say even amongst the Straw Hats, because Oda did an SBS where he mentioned, like, who would win in a foot race. I think that devil fruit powers were excluded from that, though. So just like in a normal foot race, Brook, I think Sanji would win. It was either Sanji, Brook, or then Brook and then Sanji, because Brook is so light. But it was one of the two. I would say, you know, Gear 5th notwithstanding, I would say that Sanji would definitely be faster than Zoro and Luffy in a straight-up foot race. Robin, allowing her to move and attack quickly. I mean, like, I wouldn't really include Robin here. Zoro's really strong, but he does mostly like biceps and like he does like upper body kind of workouts. I don't know if he really does leg day all that much. Maybe he does. But then Boa, a member of the Warlords, captain of the Kuja, who's known for her agility. I mean, she is known for her agility. I mean, she does move around very quickly. She's got legs. I mean, she has very long legs. We've never, I mean, no, we've seen her run really fast before. If you saw Stampede, she like charged at Bullet and then jumped like 5 stories in the air and then kicked him really hard. So, yeah, Boa can probably move pretty fast. I would imagine. She fastest in the series? I don't know, but she can move pretty fast. Kizaru's not even included on this, so that's unfortunate. I would say Kizaru would have to be included here. Sanji Brook, I think, would be fine. I don't know if I would include Boa in the top 5, but Boa is pretty fast. Yeah, she's got long legs. Yeah, sure, okay. I asked it like the same question, just like in a different wording, and it gave me, I think, the exact same response. Yeah, so I was just trying to mess with it a little bit to see, like, okay, if I ask the same question, but with a little bit of different wording, how is this going to go? And so that's what we got. Next up is how many satellites does Vegapunk have? Once again, this was me trying to ask it like the same thing in a different way. You know, and satellites are artificial objects that are placed in orbit, so it's telling me about like the moons and stuff, which it doesn't even go into crazy idea with the moons. The use of satellites is limited and is not known to what extent Vegapunk or other characters have satellites. Well, they definitely have access to satellites, but not the satellites that I think it was thinking of. But I think we are coming close to the end here. Okay, now I'm starting to ask it a kind of more important question. Where is the 4th road poneglyph? All right. So it says that the location of the first 3 road poneglyphs are revealed. The first road poneglyph is located in Zou, an island in the New World. Not an island, but close enough. I'll give it a pass. The second road poneglyph is located at Dressrosa. Man, this AI really loves the Dressrosa arc. I should have asked it, like, what's your favorite arc in One Piece? It'd be like, Dressrosa. It's just like, I could tell. But no, the second one was not located on Dressrosa. It was located in, like, Big Mom's, like, area. And then the third road poneglyph is located in Wano country, an isolated nation in the New World, which is also true. So, yeah, Big Mom has the second one. The location of the 4th road poneglyph has not yet been revealed. The search for the road poneglyph and the One Piece is a central driving force of the plot and the One Piece series, and the discovery of the 4th road poneglyph is likely to be a major event in the series. Is likely, by the way, just it's likely to be a major event. It might not be a major event in the story. The Straw Hats, like, next chapter could maybe just be wandering around Egghead and just bump into the 4th road poneglyph and be like, oh, well, okay, we have that now. Vegapunk, where are you? He's just like, Luffy's just like, oh, that's where the 4th one was. Okay. Anyway, where's Vegapunk at? You know, it might not be that big of a deal. All right, I don't know how many of these are left. Is this the last one? No. Where is Sniper Island? Okay. Now we're asking the big questions. Who cares about the One Piece? Where is Sniper Island? Sniper Island is not a location that is mentioned or featured in the One Piece series. Blasphemy, I say. It is possible you may have mistaken or are confusing the name. No. We all know, all One Piece fans know that Sniper Island is real and Sniper Island is in your heart. Damn straight. Okay. So, you know, this AI it's losing me now, guys. It's starting to lose me big time. Which number Battle Frankie is Frankie? Very simple question. It gives us like a little bit of a recap of Frankie here, and I don't think it actually explains it. Frankie is known for his love of cola and his ability to transform his body into a battleship. Yeah, close enough. It is not clear what you're asking about, to which number Battle Frankie. Number Battle Frankie is Frankie. So he's number 37 right now. He was number 36 pre-time skip, and the Frankie Shogun is number 38. So that was kind of a simple question, but I think because Frankie appears twice in the question, it kind of messed it up a bit. I'm thinking that was the reason there. All right, is this the final question? All right, the final question is, don't worry. The final question is, no, that's not it. What are the names of Zoro's swords? This was another one I just wanted to see where it was at in the story. Wado Ichimonji, Sandai Katetsu, Yubashiri. So this one is it's clearly referencing things from like the New World, like Dressrosa and Wano, but it's really, I guess, behind the curve when it comes to Zoro's katanas. Zoro hasn't had Yubashiri for like over a decade, ChatGPT. Get with it, okay? But Yubashiri, I will appreciate it because Yubashiri's great, and that's like my favorite sword that Zoro's ever used. So I'm a big fan of Yubashiri. I'm very sad that it got broken by Shu. All right, I think this is going to be the final question. It's the final question. Nope, that's not the final question. Man, how many of these did I ask? I was up late this night. What is Luffy's favorite food? Another softball question, and I think the chat does get it. Yeah, it's like, oh god, this is weird. All right, Luffy's favorite food is meat. All right, it got the answer. Okay, particularly meat that has been grilled or barbecued. He is also known to enjoy other types of food, including fish, fruits, sweets, and is not picky when it comes to eating. That's all true. One of Luffy's most well-known and iconic food preferences is his love of meat, which he often refers to as meat fruit. Okay, here's the thing. Artor, get on this. All right? I don't think Luffy's ever referred to it as meat fruit or like the Niku no Mi, but I could totally see him doing that. It doesn't seem that out of character. All right? It really, like, that could be something that Luffy could say. Just like Katakuri opening the bakery named Katakata no Mi, I'm like, I could see him opening a bakery named that. I could see Luffy at some point in the story like, man, I wish I would have eaten the meat fruit. Like, I could see that. It could happen. So the chat kind of has a handle for Luffy's personality a bit, if nothing else, okay? So I find that kind of funny. All right, now are we moving on to the last question? No, it isn't. Damn it. Okay. What is Trafalgar Law's least favorite food? Okay, Law's least favorite food, by the way, is bread. This was confirmed actually at the beginning of the Dressrosa arc. It is not explicitly mentioned in the One Piece series what Trafalgar Law's least favorite food is. Wrong. It's bread. Throughout the series, Law is shown to be a skilled and knowledgeable cook, though, and he is often seen preparing and eating a variety of dishes. He is also depicted as being willing to try new foods and not being picky. So it's kind of mixing up Law and Sanji here a little bit. But, you know, Law could... I mean, we don't actually know anything about Law's cooking prowess. We really don't. And I'll be honest with you, having the op fruit, having the operation fruit, like being able to manipulate reality around him, that would be as useful in the kitchen as it would be on the operating table. You know what I mean? As a surgeon and also as a chef. I mean, like, I love to cook. I really do. Having Law's power would make it so much easier. I wouldn't have to dice any onions. I could just take an onion and just room. It's like, you know, scalpel. Okay, there we go. Dice the onions. All right, throw that in there. All right, move that over there. I'm like telekinetically moving all the bowls and stuff. You know, it's like, okay, time to make some garlic butter. You know, throw all that in there and then spin it up. All right, throw it over there. You know, cover the bread and throw it in the oven. You know, set the preheat it and just all that kind of crap. I could just do it like in my room in the kitchen. So I kind of want to see Law cooking now because I think you'd be really good at it. All right, now are we moving on to the final question? I can't remember how many I asked. Damn, but the final question is, it's a joke. You'll see it. All right, is this it? Da 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 da. Yes, there it is. Okay. Who has the biggest boobs in One Piece? All right, I had to end it out. All right, here we go. Who has the biggest boobs in One Piece? Now, here's the thing. This is one other thing that's actually confirmed, okay? So, Boa Hancock, her breast measurements is 111 centimeters, which is absurd. I guess you could also argue Big Mom as well as, like, any giant, like, girth, you know, as well as, like, any of the other giants. There was, like, a female giant at Marineford, okay? But whatever. Let's see what the chat has to say. The size and appearance of characters' bodies in the One Piece worlds varies widely. Okay, so already, though, that's pretty good, you know? That's pretty accurate so far. There is no single character who can definitively said to have the biggest boobs. Okay, that one, I think that's no. There is a definitive answer on that one. Zoro Even's breast measurements, his chest measurements are 110 centimeters, 1 centimeter less than Boa's, so very, very close. In addition, the focus on and objectification of a character's physical attributes is not a central aspect of the series. Okay, I wouldn't say it's a central aspect. It's not like One Piece, Road Poneglyphs, Nami's boobs, but like Yeah, it's focused on more than once in the story. It is not appropriate to make judgments about characters based on their physical appearance. Okay, so now it just gets to the point where it's just like, hey, man, we don't talk about boobs in this AI. It's like, oh, okay. All right, but I wanted to end it out. I just wanted to see what it would say. Okay, so there it is. But okay, so anyway, that's Chat GPT. I don't know how to, I forget at this point. That's it. You can go check it out yourself. I'll leave a link down below if you want to give it a whirl and see how the questions that you ask it turn out. But yeah, some of this stuff was repetitive, some of it was straight out wrong, and some of it was just amusing, just very funny. And just remember, guys, Boa Hancock is a member of Luffy's crew. She killed Crocodile at Dressrosa. Don't mess with Boa. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I don't have any rhino facts for you today, but go check out the International Rhino Foundation. I'll leave a link to that below as well, with the charity to help out rhinos worldwide in Africa as well as Indonesia. A lot of efforts there. Donate if you would like to help out the rhinos today. Thanks for watching. Teching, signing out. Later.